Once upon a time, in a busy little town nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling river, there lived a 10-year-old boy named Hamza. His father, a man with a heart as big as his smile, owned a small grocery shop where the aroma of fresh fruits, the warmth of freshly baked bread, and the sweetness of delectable sweets filled every corner. The shop was more than just a business for him. It was a place where he shared laughter, stories, and a sense of community with everyone who stepped through its doors. The weight of his father's trust settled upon Hamza's shoulders, but he was determined not to disappoint. He helped them find what they needed, carefully weighed the produce, and gave them the correct change without a single mistake. Then, quite unexpectedly, a lady entered the shop. Hamza handled each interaction with the same level of care and attention, his honesty and kindness shining through in every transaction. Suddenly, the bell above the door chimed, announcing the arrival of a new customer. When Hamza finished, his father's eyes twinkled with admiration. People couldn't help but talk about the remarkable young shopkeeper who had captured their hearts. They discussed how his actions reflected the values of kindness, compassion, and integrity. For Hamza, the attention was a bit overwhelming, but he carried himself with grace and humility. He understood that his actions had made a difference in people's lives, and that was what mattered the most. "You did exceptionally well, Hamza," he said, reaching out to ruffle his son's hair. His shop became known not just for its quality products, but also for the values that defined it. Every interaction was a testament to Hamza's character, shaping the shop into a hub of trust and warmth. "You handled everything with maturity and honesty. I am so proud of you." Hamza blushed, his chest swelling with a sense of accomplishment. The praise from his father meant the world to him. His father continued, his voice soft with emotion. "You showed kindness to the old man, didn't you? That was a noble thing to do. It may have cost you money, but you chose to help him because it was the right thing to do." Hamza nodded, his eyes shining with conviction. "I wanted to help him," he said simply. He turned and saw an old man standing at the counter. The man was frail, and his clothes were worn, revealing the hardships he had endured. Looking at the old man's tattered clothes, Hamza's heart filled with empathy. He knew that the man's limited resources could mean the difference between a meal and going hungry. Without hesitation, Hamza turned to the shelf where he kept the bread. He picked up 2 pieces and walked toward the old man. "Uncle!" "Here you go," he said, his voice soft with concern. "Take this bread. It's on the house." The old man's eyes widened in surprise, and he looked at Hamza with gratitude. "But," he began, his voice trembling, "I don't have any money." Hamza interrupted him, his tone firm yet kind. "You can pay me later if you want," he said. "Right now, it's important that you eat something." The old man's face broke into a grateful smile, and he accepted the bread. "Thank you, my boy," he said, his voice filled with emotion. "This is very kind of you." She looked around, her eyes lingering on the various products displayed on the shelves. The setting sun painted the sky in hues of orange and purple, signaling the end of another day. With a sense of satisfaction, Hamza completed his tasks, his heart filled with the warmth of a day well spent. As the doors to the shop were locked for the night and the last echoes of the day faded away, Hamza waited patiently for his father's return. When the familiar sound of the key turning in the lock reached his ears, he rushed to open the door. There stood his father, his face etched with both anticipation and curiosity. "Hamza, my boy," his father began, his voice carrying a hint of inquiry. "How did you manage the shop today?" Hamza's face broke into a wide grin, his eyes sparkling with pride as he recounted the events of the day. Each interaction, each challenge overcome, each customer served with honesty and care. Hamza, ever attentive, approached her with a welcoming smile. "Can I help you with something?" he asked, his voice ringing with sincerity. The lady smiled back, her gaze fixed on a bunch of ripe mangoes. "Yes, please," she replied. "I would like to buy these mangoes." "How much are they?" Hamza, without hesitation, picked up the mangoes and placed them on the scale. As he did so, his eyes noticed something peculiar. On the table lay some loose coins. Thinking it was important to set an example of honesty, Hamza picked up the coins and said, "Auntie, you seem to have left these behind." The lady looked down, surprised. "Oh yes," she said, a blush creeping onto her cheeks. "Thank you for bringing them back. I must have dropped them while putting away my groceries." As she reached out to take the coins, Hamza stopped her. "Wait a minute," he said, his brow furrowed in concentration as he examined the coins. "You gave me 10 rupees extra, auntie?" The lady's eyes widened in surprise. "Oh, I did!" she exclaimed, her voice filled with admiration. "Well done, Hamza," she said, reaching into her bag and pulling out the correct amount. "It takes a lot of character, to be honest, especially when it's easy to take advantage. You're a fine young man, and your parents must be very proud of you." With that, she placed the correct amount on the counter, took her mangoes, and departed. Each interaction was a small victory for Hamza, reinforcing his resolve to do his best. Throughout the morning, customers came and went, their faces a mixture of familiarity and new beginnings. Some were regulars who had shopped at the store for years, while others were visiting for the first time. Each person brought with them a story, a reason for their visit. Some came for the freshest fruits, while others sought the warmth of freshly baked bread or the indulgence of sweets. Hamza listened patiently, offering a helping hand and a kind word to all. As the morning sun streamed through the shop's windows, bathing the shelves in a golden glow, Hamza got to work. He arranged the fruits, ensuring they were neatly in a row, their vibrant colors a feast for the eyes. He dusted the bread, its aroma filling the shop with a comforting smell, and he polished the sweets, making them sparkle like jewels. One sunny morning, as the chirping of birds filled the air, and the gentle breeze rustled through the leaves outside, Hamza's father approached him with a serious look on his face. "Hamza, my boy," he began, his voice carrying the weight of importance. "I have an errand to run in the next town. It's urgent, and I need you to take care of the shop for one day. Can you handle it?" The question hung in the air, and Hamza felt a surge of emotions within him. A mix of excitement and apprehension battled for dominance as he considered the responsibility that was being placed upon him. For a moment, Hamza looked down at his feet, his young mind racing with thoughts. The idea of managing the shop on his own seemed both thrilling and daunting. But he knew that his father trusted him, and that trust meant the world to him. Taking a deep breath, he lifted his head up, his eyes shining with determination. "Yes, Baba," he replied, his voice firm and resolute. "I'll do my best," he said, standing tall, his chest puffed out slightly with pride. His father's face broke into a warm smile, his eyes crinkling at the corners. "I know you will, Hamza," he said, reaching out to ruffle his son's hair. "You are a responsible young man, and I have no doubt that you will do a fantastic job. Remember, though," he added, his tone turning serious once more, "always be honest. No matter what happens, honesty is the most important thing. If someone gives you extra money, return it. Don't take even a small amount that doesn't belong to you. Honesty will bring you respect, and that is far more valuable than any amount of money." With those words of wisdom echoing in his ears, Hamza's father left for the next town, leaving Hamza in charge of the shop. The first customers of the day arrived, and Hamza greeted them with a smile. As the morning turned into afternoon, the shop continued to buzz with activity. As the afternoon sun cast long shadows across the shop floor, the steady stream of customers continued. As the day drew to a close, the final customer departed, leaving Hamza to clean up the shop. As Hamza spoke, his father listened intently, his heart swelling with pride. News of Hamza's honesty and generosity spread like wildfire through the town. And so, Hamza continued to serve his customers with the same level of dedication and honesty.